Hello and welcome back to Bricks and Trips. I know this one's taken a little bit of cooking up, but I'm finally ready to build and review the Bricklink Designer Program Series 5 Popcorn Wagon. I've been looking forward to this. Winter Village has taken over my life, but I'm so glad I finally get to start this. So as I say, this was one of the winners of Series 5 of the Bricklink Designer Program. For those of you that haven't seen the Bricklink Designer Program previously, basically loads of submissions get put forwards and they get them down to a series of finalists, and then LEGO picks 5 winners about every 6 months to make them into real, legitimate, in-boxes LEGO sets. The limited edition, limited release, and they are often really, really good. So with Series 9 finalists just about to be revealed, I think it's about time that we get this one done. So let's find out. Is it going to be sweet, or will it leave me feeling a little bit salty? And I suppose there's no better place to start off, really, than with the box itself. So, obviously, like I say, these are officially branded as Bricklink Designer Program sets, but if you look at the top of the box, it's officially LEGO. Made and produced, all of the bags are exactly as you would expect, and it includes, obviously, the Bricklink Designer Program Series 5 and the minifigure for scale, as most of the official sets do. And of course, Bricklink is actually celebrating 25 years, which is a phenomenal time really, as they've actually been acquired by LEGO now. So they've gone from just fan designs, just really a bit of fun, to now officially part of the LEGO group. I'm really sorry to the guy who's designed this set. I am almost certainly going to butcher your name, but to Mishat Tuzansky, thank you so much for putting together what might be the ideal set for my theme park. And with that, let's crack it open and start building. And so far so good. So we've got 8 numbered bags, 1 unnumbered bag, and 16 by 16 plates. And on top of that, you get a little thank you card from the designer with a picture of the model, and 2 stickers. Technically 3 stickers, there's 2 stickers there. So we're using the LEGO Builder app today, as the Bricklink Design Program sets don't actually come with a set of instructions, which usually I wouldn't mind at all. Like the instruction manuals that you have within the LEGO Builder app are usually 3-dimensional, you can spin the model around. These are just like standard PDF, page-by-page instructions, and you just build it up as if you had an instruction manual in front of you. So bags 1 and 2 are literally just building the base where the popcorn wagon sits. Nothing particularly incredible about this part in the build. It does have some sideways mounted snot techniques, which do give an additional level, but honestly, it probably could have been brick built exactly the same way, just without the leaf elements on the side. So there's nothing particularly groundbreaking in these first few bags. I mean, this is just building sort of the pavement where the popcorn wagon sits on. Other than that, nothing that we haven't actually seen before in LEGO. And that is bags 1 and 2 all done. So the base is sort of fairly basic. I mean, it's just tiles pressed on a bit of plate. So not exactly the most sort of creative or innovative. I do like this bit. It was similar with the Art of Chocolate set, which is another Bricklink Designer Program set, where they build this all sort of sideways using the snot technique, and then that sort of all places in one large piece right up onto the main base. We've pretty much used the entirety of the unnamed bag, and this is probably just going to be for the bottom of the popcorn wagon itself now, or maybe the top. Maybe we'll start building that top down. Not quite sure. We'll find out in a minute. I do really like the street light at this side, so that looks like it's been ripped directly out of Disney Main Street. Really like the effect of that. And I've not actually noticed this before, but these sort of like Lego like vine weed pieces, I didn't know that you could get a Lego flower in there. That's good to know. I'll definitely be using that technique at some point. And you do actually get a couple of little animals in this set as well. So we've already got a little butterfly just down in the flowers, and we've got a bird down on this side looking for a little bit of popcorn that's been dropped. And I suppose that's where we start on the main popcorn wagon now. And on to bag 3 we go. And spoilers, this is where things started to go a little bit awry. Now, I'm quite an experienced Legoer, and it's not very often where I miss pieces during a set, but I think the instructions are really letting it down. Well, I thought I was losing my absolute marbles. I've just finished bag 3, and there's pieces left. Like, big pieces left. Turns out you need them for bag 4, though. I get why LEGO does it, but I kind of wish they could give a notice beforehand. I know it's only turning a page, but it does make me panic at the end. It definitely didn't help that when I did turn to bag 4, I realised that I also had missed some bits. And after these spare pieces, we're on to bag 4. Bag 4 did go a little bit smoother though, so no misses through this part. Some really great building techniques for some upside down window panels to give a sliding door effect within the popcorn cart itself. Thought that was a really cool little building technique. And that is bags 1, 2, 3 and 4 all done. Really happy with how it's looking so far. Obviously it still looks like a little bit of a rough shell, but I suppose that's what it is at this point. I really like this sliding glass door here, where the attendants at the popcorn wagon will be able to go and get the popcorn from the actual popper in the back. I think that's a really cool mechanism. I know it's been done loads of times before with sliding doors, but they didn't really need it as part of this set, and it's little details like that which I think are the reason why Bricklink designer program sets are so popular. And speaking of little details, I didn't realise that this popper actually makes the popcorn pop as well. So it's got a little wheel on the back of it, and if you swizzle it around quickly enough or sort of wiggle it back and forwards, it looks like the popcorn's popping a little bit in there, which I think is really cool. The designers take so much care and so much attention into every little detail that goes into these. And now we're on to bag 5, and I think this is where things started to go a little bit awry. I'm making mistakes on everything at this point, and some of it's simply because I just can't get the pieces in the right place, and in no way can I blame that on the fan designer itself or even on the set. It's just the instructions really don't seem fit for purpose on my tiny little mobile screen. Now I'm going to be frank, I am a little bit ill at the moment, but I am so frustrated with Lego right now. I've only ever built one other Bricklink designer program set, and that was the Art of Chocolate, which again was fantastic. But part of what made that build so brilliant was the use of the Lego Builder app. I'm not normally one to use apps when I'm building things. I prefer to use the physical instructions, but the Bricklink program sets, they don't come with a physical instruction manual, which was absolutely fine for the Art of Chocolate set because it was like a fully 3D model. Every building step you could zoom into it, zoom out of it, you could spin it round. It was really interactive. But this one, they're just PDF instructions on my phone. If I'd have known it was PDF, I might have gone to the trouble of getting the iPad out, but it's just so much space taken up. I suppose that's the same with actual instruction book as well, but I don't understand why they haven't done the 3D model with this. I didn't build the Art of Chocolate set immediately. It took me about sort of 6 months or so from when I got it to when I've actually finished building it. So maybe it's going to come soon with Lego, but right now these instructions are no good. I'm not happy with them at all. And it's such a shame because I'm really enjoying building it. I'm just missing pieces constantly. I'm not used to coming to the end of the bag and finding I've still got like 7 of the same piece left and thinking, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I've missed. Let's check every single step on every single page, just trying to find this one piece that I'm missing, one instruction step. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel very Lego. But on the plus side, this is where we're up to so far. So we've got the main sort of carriage construction now. It's still going to need some wheels and a roof to it. I'm assuming that's going to be bags 6 and 7 by the looks of things. And we've now pretty much finished the interior in there. I don't think there's anything else left to go in apart from the attendant himself. And the mini builds in here look absolutely fantastic. It's got this classic steam-powered kernel popper, and then some windows in the back with what I'm assuming is some cups for some popcorn, a cupcake just in case you don't like popcorn. Who doesn't like popcorn? A couple of cookies in there as well. And it just brings the whole design together. Love the little cash register. Seen loads of these built in Lego. They're pretty much all the same, but I do like this sort of like chrome element on the top. And I don't know what you guys do with all these little tiny pieces, the little spares that they give you. I normally just throw them all in a little bag on the side, and then as and when I'll throw that into a bigger bag because I am not sorting these into the parts collection. Not yet anyway. I know at some point I'm going to have to deal with that bag. Not today. And we're finally on to the last few bags, so bags 6, 7 and 8. We're finally getting to some of these sticker sheets here, so we've got a big popcorn logo for the side of the wagon, and also a little tiny 1x1 to go on the edge of a brick for an actual box of popcorn. Bag 6 is pretty much just get the wheels on, get it mounted onto the base for the first time. And bag 7, we finally get the popcorn attendant, somebody to actually sell the popcorn. I loved building this roof. Some really interesting building techniques with the sort of tooth elements going on their side and then being mounted directly to the roof. Thought this was really effective. And then bag 8, the bag that probably should have just been part of bag 7. Only about 50 pieces in the whole of this one, just making the awning for the front of it. And that's it. So obviously one last look at the box. Seems to be an awful lot of pieces left over in this set, but I don't normally build my models all in one go, so might just be the fact I've not noticed for a while. And then obviously the actual popcorn wagon. I think the minifigure selection was really good in this. I think having sort of the grandma with the child and then obviously the popcorn attendant, couldn't have expected any more for the size of the set, and it just looks an absolute treat. Apart from the building instructions, I absolutely loved putting together that set. I thought it was a phenomenal build from start to finish, and maybe if I wasn't quite so ill, I'd have been able to get it right first time and I wouldn't be moaning about that. But let's get it taken down to the LEGO theme park, see if we might be able to just place it temporarily ahead of the big change up that's going to happen down there, and give some final thoughts on the set. It's usually just about this point where I realise that I maybe have a few too many sets. But then again, one more surely couldn't hurt. So my original thought with this was to try and put it somewhere in front of the loop coaster, potentially somewhere just down here, but I think it looks a little bit too large for this area of the theme park. All that lovely detail which goes on under the cart just won't be visible either, which brings me on to another problem. Obviously this is a fantastic base for a diorama, and if this was just going on a shelf somewhere, it would look brilliant on its own. But for going into the theme park, I think that the popcorn cart's just going to look better just on its own. And it is really easy to remove it from the base. So it's got this couple of black hinge pieces down on the bottom of it, and they just snap directly into these clips, which are into the built-up base. So my next plan is actually to see if it can fit somewhere along Diagon Alley. I have got this open space just to the right of Gringotts, which might have enough room for the popcorn cart. And as we spin around to the other side and put it into place, it actually fills the gap perfectly. I wish I could say that I'd lined that up beforehand, but that's my first time placing it there, and I think that's exactly where it's going to live. Of course, there is one minor problem, in that I actually don't have a base built for this area yet. It's just an open hole down into the Gringotts Vaults area. But obviously we're rebuilding the theme park anyway, so obviously that'll get fixed when we actually do some of the larger work, taking things back off and rebuilding all the bases for everything. Final thoughts. Aesthetically, I think it's absolutely stunning. Yes, the base is a little bit basic, but you don't want that to detract from the main event, which is the popcorn wagon itself. It doesn't matter what angle you look at this from, it just looks perfect. It is worth pointing out, it does have a fully removable roof on the popcorn cart, and obviously comes with the 3 minifigures as mentioned before, and this is what it looks like if you do decide to remove the roof. Like I say, you've still got that sliding glass door which can sort of go back and forward. In terms of functionality, obviously there's only really 3 moving parts. So you've got the sliding glass door for the popcorn access, the actual popcorn popper, and then of course the wheels, which do work if you were to try and move it around on them. And the ultimate question is, would I recommend that you buy this set? Well, 494 pieces for £49.99 works out about 10 pence per brick, which honestly is about the going rate for LEGO. So price per piece wise, not too bad at all. Build quality, absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's only a £50 set. It's not going to shatter the earth in any way, but every piece has its purpose and none of it feels sort of underbuilt or flimsy. It's just really solid all the way through. And like I say, aesthetically, I think they've absolutely hit the money. The only thing that I would have a minor qualm about is maybe the colour of the actual canopy itself. The red is a different colour to the actual popcorn wagon. I suppose if it had been the same red, maybe it would have just blended into the rest of the model as well. The best compliment that I can give this set is that I wish that this was part of a collection. If it was a popcorn cart, a churro cart, turkey legs, slushies, all in different colours, I would buy a collection of these. I really can't emphasise this enough. If you see that set anywhere near original retail price, just buy it. Honestly, I think £50 was an absolute steal for it. And I know it's a little bit corny, but I have to say, that set was pretty sweet. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.